Hey, how's it going, everybody? So this is the sixth episode of my Season of the Build-Up Report. At the end of the last one, I was talking about Jericho and how I had traveled over there, and I was getting ready to do those last 2 weekends of racing. Yeah, the first weekend went pretty well for me. I had pretty decent shooting. I was 80% over the whole weekend, so 80% in both races, actually, which wouldn't be good enough to win medals in Europe, but on the North American circuit, it's pretty decent because you just have to have decent shooting, and decent skiing to do well. So in the first race, I had good prone, but was a little disappointed with the standing. So I shot 0-2, and I skied okay, ended up third. I was actually zero point 0.7 seconds behind Alex Howe, who got second in that one. So really tight, and then just 10 seconds behind the guy who got first. So then in the pursuit the next day, I was really happy with my skiing, and I was shooting, like I said, pretty decent at 80%, 2-1-1-1-1. And then I ended up winning that second one by about 20 seconds. And I was really happy with the skiing on Sunday because it was competitive with some of the guys who've really been a lot faster than me in the past. And these results are pretty big going forward because these 2 weekends were trials or selection races for another set of races in Europe that's coming up pretty quick here. So after that, I had a nice week of training in Jericho where I felt like I really did get a lot of good work done, good training. And then I drove down to Lake Placid for the next weekend of racing. I got to stay with Brian Halligan and his family, which was really cool. It was nice to catch up with him and talk biathlon and skiing in general with some really, really intelligent people. So, and anyway, I'd never actually been to Lake Placid in the winter, so it was pretty cool to go there, get to ski on those courses where I've been in the summer for quite a bit of training. But it's different when you're there in the winter, skiing on snow versus running or roller skiing. And then I got to get ready there for the second week of important racing. It was the same format as the first weekend in Jericho, a sprint on Saturday and then a pursuit on Sunday. I had some pretty good skiing on Saturday, but I was really disappointed with the shooting. To be fair, it was pretty windy and kind of a tough range approach. You have to climb up into the range, and the snow was pretty wet, so it was hard skiing. But still, missing 4 out of 10 isn't good enough, and I need to be doing better. And so I wasn't surprised when I ended up, quite a ways down the list on the results, farther from where I wanted to be. But then Sunday, the second day was kind of a chance to redeem myself. I forgot to mention too much. The Saturday was really warm. Skiing was tough. The snow was really deep, and you really had to fight through the slow snow. And because it was a trials race for these European races, most of us were on a wax protocol, and basically we just all have the same cheap wax on, so that it's fair, so no one has an advantage with the wax. And since both Saturday and Sunday were really warm, and warm snow is where the wax makes a bigger and bigger difference, it made it a tough time skiing because you really had to fight and kind of muscle your way through the race. So I'm pretty happy with the way I was skiing, even though, it was tough. I just had to muscle through it. But compared to the other guys, I was skiing really well. And, it leads in, I'm really happy with how the skiing is going this year in general. I felt like I was a little slow at the beginning, but since then I've really been able to pick it up. And I've been getting faster and faster and more comfortable with the skiing as the year goes on, which is a great way to do it. Anyway, in that race on Sunday, I ended up missing 5, which not quite as well as I was hoping to do, but for that whole time I was fighting for the podium, right up there with the top of them. So not very many people shot that well. It was some decent shooting, nothing better than only 4 misses at the top, and then below there were a lot of misses on that. Yeah, so I ended up third in that race, and then I found out later that was good enough to make the trip for IBU Cup 7 and 8. Yeah, so they'll be in Finland and Estonia. Anyway, after those races, I had the afternoon off, and I stayed with the Halligans. And then the next day I got up pretty reasonable in the morning, got in the car, and then I started the long drive home. It wasn't really too bad. I mean, 19 hours alone in the car is pretty quick when you have a cool audiobook to listen to, which I think has been the best excuse me, the best way to do those long drives. So I got about halfway through The Three Musketeers, which is a pretty cool book. And I really didn't have any other adventure on the way home. It was 60 degrees in Chicago when I drove through, and funny enough, the traffic, it was pretty bad, but it was almost a welcome kind of distraction after driving off on just an open highway for a while. I mean, I know it slowed me down, but it was something cool to kind of distract you and be fresh and new. And like I said, it was 60, so I had the window open, and I got to drive through with my music going, and 60 degrees, which felt really warm. Yeah, and I got home about 4 in the afternoon, and I got over to the Hopkins High School to do a weightlifting strength workout. Yeah. So now I'm just getting ready for that trip. I'll leave tomorrow morning for Finland, and then the first weekend of racing is there in Finland. Then I'll go down to Estonia for a weekend, or it's not really a weekend, but the next week is racing in Estonia for that last IBU Cup of the year. And then I'll come home, and U.S. Nationals will probably be the last thing on my schedule for this year, and that'll be end of March. Anyway, again, like always, thanks for watching, and yeah, see you later.